Okay, well, I guess all I can say is, sorry.
Okay, so since it's been an actual century since I uploaded last, I thought I owed you guys an update.
Yes, I'm not stupid. I've read my comments, I've read the DMs. I was just a bit busy. I had a degree to do. I did a chemistry degree, which is super fun for anyone that cares. For anyone that doesn't care, though, we're going to be skateboarding today because I've left it way too long. I haven't skateboarded in like genuinely a year, so this is really going to be a realistic update. And by realistic, I mean very bad, and I'll probably be very sad. But I actually bought myself some new skating equipment for this special occasion, which means that I won't probably kill myself today. You know, I bought these to motivate me to actually go out and skate, and it actually did work because here I am on day 4. And they have also saved my ass one time.
That one singular time made the £18 that I spent on this protective gear completely worth it.
Today on my agenda, I think I'm gonna try. So I just had this Limp Bizkit song in my head, I'm so sorry. What we're gonna be doing today? Okay, we're gonna be trying doing an ollie whilst we're moving, because that is the next step. Doing a shove it today, amazing. Doing an alright ollie, maybe try a nollie, maybe try like hippie jumping, I think that's what it's called. But I'm yapping too much, so I'm just gonna go. Oh my god, I look so pink. Also, a minor life update, I did cut all of my hair and then dye it, but now it's kind of grown out again, so you really can't see it. But yeah, just believe me that happened at some point. Anyway, time to leave.
Alright, so yapping aside, it was time to get down to doing some actual skating. So the first day that I went out, it was completely unplanned.
Okay, I'm just pausing the Fallout Boy right now just to let you know that this was my dream when I was about 13 years old. To have my own car, to be able to drive wherever I want and park in the middle of nowhere, watch the sunset, go skateboarding on my own and listen to Fallout Boy really loudly. I've got all my protective gear on, so let's just fucking go. Let's just go.
I randomly had a burst of energy one evening and I decided to go back to one of my favourite places to go and skate.
I want to be able to get back to the level that I was last year, which will take me probably quite a hot minute, not gonna lie. So if I get anything on this list done, I will be grateful to the skating gods, whoever they might be. Just kidding, we all know it's Jimmy Neutron. That was such an old reference that like, I think it might have, sorry, I need to get out, it's so hot.
As you can see, I'm rambling and all over the place, so what could possibly go wrong?
I forgot my skateboard. So I'm not using my usual really shit and destroyed skateboard. I'm using this blind skateboard, and that is also my disclaimer as to why I'm so bad today, and it's not because I haven't practiced actually. You know when you used to give excuses to why you haven't done your scales this week? This is what it feels like. So guys, if I'm really embarrassingly bad, just know it's the skateboard, it's not me. I'm not the problem. I never will be.
As you can see, I was not having a good time. Because I had picked up the wrong board, which had trucks that were genuinely too loose.
Okay, I think I'm kind of realising that I'm not really gonna get anywhere today with this because my board's not right, these trucks are too loose.
So the trucks being so loose made it so wobbly, as you can see, and it just made me feel so much worse about going back to skating. It was not it, and I couldn't even pick up the board sometimes. Doing ollies genuinely felt like I was gonna die at any minute. And as you can see, I was not the most confident with literally anything that I was doing today.
I think just going out and doing something is better than nothing.
So I ended up riding home looking real sad on my own in the dark, but that was not going to stop me because I bought these handguards for a fucking reason, okay? And today was the day that I was going to put it to good use. Day 2 rolls around and I decided to go out during the day so it was less depressing. So I laced up my trusty Converse and just practiced getting stable on my board at first. I tried some running starts. I found a nice little spot to stay and practice my shove-its, which in case you weren't aware, that was where I really left off in the last video. I managed to land one shove-it and it was a dodgy shove-it. I almost died 17 times in the making of that video. And I thought, why not do it again? And don't get me wrong, I was still not back to the level that I was before. I still had my wobbles and my super tired moments. And it didn't help that it was so hot outside.
It's hot as balls outside. So I'm actually, I think, gonna die.
Might be a bit dramatic, but I did come close. I had a little sit down and a ponder and a thought about what I was going to do next. And so I decided to do a few tricks which I knew how to do. Here you can see me doing the caveman to get used to landing on my board. Then a bit of whatever this is, which I heard someone call this monster walking, but I have no idea what it's actually called. And then here I am practicing squatting on the board, getting my balance before going back to ollies. Now I have to say that my ollies were better than I remembered them being. I found that I could even them out pretty well. Okay, this is where it all goes downhill. So, quite literally, I was riding downhill and I wanted to practice doing my ollies whilst moving. And so I knew the first step to doing that was doing manuals. And so I started doing some manuals whilst I was going downhill. It was not great, but I thought I'd progress to doing tiny little jumps. So just taking the front wheels off the floor. And this is where I had my tragic accident. So I was doing this quite a few times, as you can see, doing my little hops. I did one final hop and I got thrown right off the front of my board. I landed so hard that I basically bent my pinky finger back. Oh my goodness, if my handguards were not there, I would have actually just broken my wrist. So that meant that I really just had to retire for the day. I got so scared that I took off all my protective equipment and I just went home. But of course, I was back again the next day for day 3. So once I'd set up the camera, I started by yanking some things out of my hair, apparently. Then I warmed up by riding around the area, checking for some lumps and bumps on the floor. My aim today was to work on my landings. So I started off by doing some cavemans. Next up was hippie jumps. I started working on them whilst I was stationary, trying to get as high in the air as possible. Then I decided to move on to hippie jumps whilst I was moving. Stupidly, even though I was kind of shitting it. I'm pretty sure I've done these before because it is a really beginner move, but that was like a year ago. Okay, so let me off. After that, it was time for some ollie work. Now, doing ollies was actually my favorite bit, and just like yesterday, I was working on doing my ollies whilst I was moving, but, and there is a big ass but here, okay? They made me so tired, so cue my little sit down. But moving on, next up was shove-its. Not my favorite because I can't do it. I was doing the same thing over and over again, so I decided to do a little bit of Googling and I found out a thing or two. Okay, so I heard someone say that when you're doing a shove-it, you should really focus on getting your front foot out of the way and just focusing on moving the board with your back foot. So I'm gonna try doing a shove-it with that in mind, and hopefully that helps. So after making these little changes, I found that I was actually managing to get the board in the right position to be able to land on it, which was very rare. And that's why I look so shocked in these videos. I was having a little eureka moment. So I kept going and going. I didn't quite get a shove-it, but I was moving in the right direction. Alright, time for some manuals. So I managed to get 4 seconds on this one, and then a lovely little 5 seconds, which I think is my record. I'm actually not too sure about that. There's this new totally secret trick that I have my eyes on, and it means I need to be really good at 180-degree turns, turning around as fast as I can without falling over, hopefully. Sometimes not so great at that part. Then I did a single body varial for some reason, and then I went home. What can I say? I was tired. Day 4. Okay, this is when I realised that I could actually use the mic clip on my microphone. So get ready for a session of ultimate yap from the biggest yapaholic in town, apparently.
I'm gonna fall on my ass, and that's okay.
I started off by getting my cardio in and running around like a maniac, and then whilst I was messing around, I discovered a little move that I had completely neglected before.
Ooh, that was good. Oh my god, I forgot about these.
Which actually did come back to bite me in the ass, quite literally.
Oh my ass. That's very rude.
Yeah, you show that board who's boss. Speaking of things that I haven't done in a while, I decided to practice scooping the board.
So I actually haven't tried scooping the board for actually 1 year, and somehow I've got better at it, so I guess you win some, you lose some.
You know when you forget that toast and butter exists, and then you have it like every day for a week? This is what's happening here, but with scooping the board.
I can't stop doing that now.
I'm not joking, it's an addiction.
I've gotten so much worse at actually landing on my board, and I think it's because I'm scared. There's like a mental barrier that I just can't get past, so I'm going to try going back to the absolute basics for a second and just focus on trying to land on my board. So doing hippie jumps and like the flip, you know the one that I mean.
Yeah, I forgot the name of this one, but it was like the first trick that I ever learned, so it made me feel nice on the inside. Moving on to my favourite part of the session is ollies, and looking back at my last video, you can see that I'm pretty much back to the level that I was before, if not a little bit better, because look at that height. So overall, I'm pretty chuffed with that.
I think I've nailed my ollies now, to be honest.
So we gotta do the moving, which makes me shake. Also, what was that? In public?
Getting hippity-hoppity.
As you can see, I was not good. Clearly, I am scared, shaking, literally Quaker's Oats right now.
Ooh.
Now, this is where it gets a little bit spicy. I spent the last 3 days going through every skating video that I could get my grubby little twiglets on, and I found something that I'd never actually tried before, which was a fakie revert. So, for those who don't know, it's where you start by riding switch with your opposite foot forward, and then you turn. Simple, right? No, it was not.
Okay, so I really want to do a fakie revert. That means that I have to skate with my other foot in front, which is actually impossible. I've just tried it and it looks like I'm trying to skateboard all over again. Like me on my first day. Maybe even worse than that, to be honest, if that's even possible. It does not look good.
I found out the hard way that riding switch was way harder than I anticipated, which I don't know why I've not practiced this before, to be honest, because it seems quite important. Then I realised that this move really required me to be good at manuals. And no, not the back manuals which I'd been practicing, it was the front manuals.
Okay, I've realised I've been practicing my back manuals and not my nose manuals, which means now if I want to do a trick turning that way, it's going to be way harder.
So in some sort of attempt to get better at turning, I did some 180-degree turns, but with my foot on the back of the board, so this probably didn't even translate to the trick that I was trying to do, but oh well. I think I was just trying to delay the inevitable.
I'm getting dizzy.
After a lot of practice of this kind of stuff, I decided to just jump right into it and try it out for myself, which is what I did. And at first it was like actually a disaster. I look like I'm not even moving. I stop halfway through this trick, which is ridiculous. But that didn't seem to stop me because I was back at it again.
I'm close.
And this time I was actually kind of successful.
I know that was really, really slow and it looked really shit, but I'm so hyped because at the start of this session, never thought I could do that. So for a few minutes, that's not bad.
Hopefully with a little bit of practice, maybe I could get this down. I know it's really quite an easy one, but I just never tried it before. As you can see, I've already got started on my final attempt at shove-its. I realised that the thing that was holding me back was the fear of falling.
I almost had it. It really felt like I was almost there, but I just get too scared to put my second foot on it. Gotta accept that I'm just gonna fall over. I'm gonna fall on my ass, and that's okay. I didn't fall on my ass. Oh, holy shit, I almost died. That wasn't so bad. Ooh. Okay, what I need to remember, just extend my ankle, not my whole leg, push the board back, get this leg out the way and try and land it with my right leg because that one's the one that never gets on. 4 things. Right, well that was none of those things.
So after that little oopsies, I did something that I'd never done before.
Okay, well that's the first time that I've landed it with this leg and not this leg. Is it an improvement? Who knows?
Then after that, I could not stop landing it with just my right leg. Still not both legs.
It's like I always need just one leg on the ground. It's neither leg's problem, it's my problem. So I know what my problem is, to be honest. It's consistency and also balance, but consistency being the main one.
And speaking of consistency, I had to stop going every day because my adductors, literally, I couldn't take it anymore. They hurt so bad. But before I go, I just wanted to show you my final little attempt at a shove-it. I went out at night and I almost did it twice here, and one of them almost killed me. But the other one actually looked alright.
I think I kind of got it. Like, I'm kind of getting there.
Okay, finally, winding down because this video is like 10 hours long already. I have to head out, and you guys can go and check out my Instagram if you want some more updates, because I post a lot more on there than I do on my YouTube. Clearly, that's not hard. But I hope you enjoyed. I'll try and follow my ass properly next time. Okay, bye.